Hi, this is a video I made for myself stretching, and if anybody wants to watch this and stretch along, you don't have to do all the stretches that I'm doing. I think it's better actually if you do your own stretches and kind of just feel around your body for however long you want to do it. I'm just going to be working through a lot of the tension that I have in my body and kind of talking through it in a stream of consciousness type of way. So that's what this is. I don't know. Please don't hurt yourself. I'm not a medical professional. I don't have any credentials. I am just a girl who is on a yoga mat talking to my phone. Because of our economy, I had to cut out my class pass. So that means I cannot go to my usual yoga classes. And I really miss doing yoga and I really need to stretch. So this is me doing yoga while stream of consciousnessing the world, I guess. So I'm gonna start here. We'll do some elbows. Switch. When I was in Bali, we did a private yoga session with a yoga instructor, and he asked us, how long have we been practicing yoga? And I said, I've been practicing it for more than 10 years. And he's like, wow, how come you haven't become a teacher yet? And I said, I didn't think that I was good enough. Like I didn't have the technical knowledge and I can't really remember all of the pose names and I don't know. And then he told us how yoga isn't about just the stances or the exercise. It does help your body get into flow and it helps you realign. But actually, yoga is a practice. Yoga is a lifestyle practice. And it made me think like, why haven't I? Why don't I feel good enough to like teach a yoga class? It's also like stage fright, you know? And I always felt like because I couldn't do a bunch of handstands yet, and I'm pretty inconsistent with my practice in terms of like, I go once a week, I go twice a week, I go every Thursday. Like, I don't do that. I go whenever I feel like is the best time for me to go, and my body needs it. And right now, my body needs it. But alas, I really don't want to spend $50 to do a whole to to stand. I really don't want to pay $50. There is something you get from a class that you can't really get alone, but perhaps doing solo yoga is equally as beneficial, you know? Oh my god, there's like not that much room. Like, this thing is like in the way because my room is not that big. Eventually, I do want to get a studio where I'm gonna have like my own dedicated yoga corner with a bunch of mirrors and stuff like that. But for now, I am at least I'm grateful enough, or I'm grateful to be able to have this space in front of the mirror or in front of the window, which I think is really nice and peaceful. I used to meditate here a lot. Uh, Before it was kind of just filled with junk because I've been trying to get rid of things and reorganize. And today I was also cleaning and reorganizing, and I was able to clear out this area. And then it reminded me of when I reminded me of when I used to do yoga here. And that was the original plan. But since it's in front of my closet, So it's kind of just in the way all the time. And then I have slippers that I usually wear, and then I'm gonna have to um like step on my yoga mat with my slippers whenever I want to go to my closet, because I wanted to have a space that was just like mat open, like where I didn't have to constantly like furl and unfurl the yoga mat and like have to remember to put it away and all this stuff. And I mean, it's very little, but it is a friction that keeps me from practicing. And today I actually slept through the night, which I haven't been able to sleep. Actually, I haven't been able to sleep the last few nights. I've been waking up at like 3 a.m. and just kind of doom scrolling because I couldn't go back to sleep. But last night I took some melatonin, and I did wake up in the middle of the night, and then literally just like rolled over and like forced myself to go to sleep. I should have done that the other days, but there was like something wrong. I don't know. But let's do some neck stuff. I have a lot of tension in my shoulders because I think just in life you're like always like this, and then you're like, and so your lower neck becomes compressed, and your like back neck is always extended, and so that gives me a lot of tension like right here and like right here. And so I've also been trying to like um, do some, what is it called, lymphatic drainage, so that it's not so what is it, not condensed, congested. So my lymph nodes and stuff aren't so congested. And this can also happen because of a trauma response, which I also deal with, because I learned that when you are in fight or flight and you are always bracing for pain, I don't know, but I would always like, this is my this is like my safe space. I was like as small as I could be, and you can see like my shoulders would wrap around my legs, and this caused me to, I would also like clench, and so this makes your muscles contract. And so if I'm doing this all the time and just crying into my legs into this fetal position, also like, when you're lying down too, like, you know it's the same pose. And so this is also how I sleep, like this. And so my shoulders are all messed up and overused because I've just been clenching for my entire life, and I've been trying to undo that. And it's been a lot of like physical therapy and acupuncture. And then when I couldn't really afford to do that anymore, it was just a bunch of me sitting on a lacrosse ball and doing yoga and all that. Okay. Wow, this is really nice. I'm really happy I started doing this. But yeah, I feel like because I was constantly clenching, my shoulders are like super tight. I've also been trying to wear like this I wouldn't say corset. It's like a binder which helps you like, which you makes you like sit up straight. It keeps your back straight. Anyways, so I have been dealing with that lately, and it's just been really nice now to be able to do this. Mm-hmm. Stretching by yourself is really nice because you know where your problem areas are and the areas that you need to work on. And so you can kind of just melt into the ones that you need the most. So this is really helpful. I also like to grab my big toes and like push, like push your toes out, so then and then at the same time pull your back so that it basically elongates your arms, and that's just going to help like release some of the muscle tension and the knots that you have, because knots are basically just muscle fibers that are dehydrated, um, and so they clump together. It's kind of like a raisin. And so all these knots are just like raisins in your body. So you kind of want to pull it out by stretching. And while it does that, usually there's also like this rush of heat that that like travels through it, which is, you know, new blood flowing, which is really good because then it's going to clear out all of the toxins and all of the toxin buildup that's in that knot. And so then your body can rehydrate that material, so then your grapes can inflate and be healthy again. And so that's some of the things that I've been learning about. I'm not gonna lie, I spend like half of my life just trying to heal pain, heal emotional pain, heal physical pain, and they often go together because your emotional pain causes physical pain because your body speaks in metaphors. And so that's why sometimes it's hard to figure out what's wrong. This is why your body hurts, even though you like are not sure why. Hang on, my neck cracked like crazy. A lot of people also have a lot of tension in their shoulder blades, like especially like right here, which is like if you're using your mouse wrong. I mean, this is not a natural type of life anyway, to be sitting and like using your arm like this all the time. That's why a lot of people have a lot of tension in their back. I had an ex that he had like a huge knot there because he was always on his computer. um you know, that's the job that you have, right? You can't really do anything about that, but you just want to make sure that you pay attention to those areas so that they don't get worse. And so when you can, it'd be nice for you to just address that. um what I like to do is just get a lacrosse ball, and just shove it between my shoulder blades and just lie down on it. And it's gonna hurt like crazy. It's gonna be so painful, and that's a good thing. Like if it's incredibly painful, that means it is like really digging into a knot that you've had for a long time. And eventually, if you sit in that pain for long enough, it will start to release and you'll feel it. It'll like reverberate within your body, and then you'll feel that rush of heat, and then your blood will circulate to that area. And in learning about this, I was like, um, I was like going through my muscles, and I just had so many knots that I didn't realize that I had. Because I'm fairly healthy, you know. I take good care of myself. I try to go to yoga and physical. I walk around. I live in SF, so I'm like always walking uphill. My apartment is like on the top of a hill, and so I'm always just doing cardio no matter what. But I'm still like tight. I'm still not um I'm still not as bendy and free as I want to be. Like I'm doing all of this and it hurts. Like I want to be able to move my body with no restrictions. I want to be like Jelly, you know. I want to be like that inflatable tube guy in front of the car dealerships. Like I want to be able to do it, go like this without, uh, just that was a dumb metaphor. But I want to be able to be free like that. It just seems very like a freeing way of life, and I feel like I'm still very stiff when I do this. So there you go. Um, I'm gonna lie down. My clip is in the way. Another thing is a lot of muscle tension is formed because of trauma and anxiety. And so when you release those muscles, there's going to be also very likely a emotional release that will just overtake you. So the best thing to do is just let it happen and cry it out, or feel whatever you want to feel at the time. It's just a good time to be like, to give yourself permission to just express your emotions so that it's not stuck and stagnant within your body. That's like processing your emotions in a healthy way. Whoop. Ah! Ugh, I don't have enough room. I kicked my mirror. It's okay. I'm literally stuck. So whatever you can see. So I literally only have this square to work from, which is like not ideal, but it is what it is. Um, as I've been doing yoga, especially in the last few years, I've been paying attention to my problem areas because I was doing a lot of yoga also to address this back pain that has been like plaguing me for the last few years. And it really started, I don't know, I think in during COVID because we weren't very active and we were always on our computers. And I was also going through like a crazy emotional uh, time in my life. It was very, very hard for me. And so my body was just always on high alert, like fight or flight. It could have been like my last day any day now, is what my body thought. And so I was always bracing. And so every muscle in my body was basically just expecting a beating. So like, when you're about to get hit, you brace. Like if you know someone's about to hit you, like in your app, you like tense, you like flex it so that like it bounces off. So you're not like exposing your internal organs to the force. But often when you are having a trauma response or not not having a good time and you're bracing, your whole body just does that. And then a lot of muscles that you overuse end up needing help from the other muscles and to support it because you're overcompensating from one way or another. And then it just is it's a domino effect of another muscle on top of another muscle is helping try to support your muscle that is not getting the proper blood flow. And so then just have this line of knots that form because you are trying to use other ones to compensate. It's just trying to support your body. Your body wants to support you, but it doesn't know that that's not what you want. Okay, so I'm laying my back like this, right? And I have this crazy pain on, like, right above my tailbone. I can feel it. It's like a lump. And I know it's not supposed to feel like that when you lie down. And so because I know that that's like a knot that I need to work on. And so I'm basically just gonna lie on it. I just have to find it and then just stay there and let it go. And it's gonna be really painful. It's really painful, really painful. But then eventually it'll release. It's basically just like sending a signal to your body that we need to pay attention to this area. I think that's what acupuncture is too, because it's trying to guide your body in order to bring blood flow and I don't know, toxin flush. I don't know that much biology, But I do know that I've healed a lot of my body this past year alone, and it's because I've been doing a lot of that. There's also like a lot of tension in your jaw because you're always clenching, especially if you were in situations where you felt like you couldn't be authentic, or you felt like if you said anything you would get in trouble, or uh, you would you'd face some sort of pain, you know. And so as I was growing up, I was kind of a problem child, and I would always talk back, but sometimes that just worked out. That just it did not work out for me. So I've learned that sometimes it was just easier to keep your mouth shut, right? And even though I wanted to say something so bad uh, and express my side of the things, you know, my guardians were in charge of me. Like, what was I gonna do? And so, in order to just get through it, I just like clenched my mouth shut, you know, and because of that, there's a lot of tension in your neck and jaw that forms. This is just like 30 years worth of buildup of being not being able to speak my truth. Mm. And it's really important to breathe through it because you're sending fresh oxygen through your bloodstream into the places that you're targeting. And after a while, you can kind of start feeling your body. And you know, when people tell you like feel your toes, and feel your ankle, feel your knees, like at one point you'll be able to kind of find a problem area and just think about it and pinpoint it. And I think it's also important to talk to your body. There was a lot of talking that I did through it. Like it works, honestly. If you're just like, hey, can you please help me release this muscle in my lower back? That would be great. And your body is sending the signals down, and it realizes this is what you want, and then it wants to be it wants to function the most efficiently as it can. And so it encounters a blockage and then resolves to fix it. And it didn't know that there was a blockage there because it was so busy focusing on everything else. There was no one pinpoint. But when you take the time to localize the pain, and you're able to better target your knots. Women also especially have a lot of tightness in their like hip and groin region. I can't imagine why. Because of all of the fear and shame that we have around human sexuality and how to express female desire while also fighting the patriarchal stigma that comes along with it. And so that causes your body to unconsciously form like a lot of tightness around your uterus and around your V area. I don't know if I can say certain things, but especially if you had a lot of or experienced any trauma in this place or other places, especially if you were younger because your body didn't know what to do at that time. It's very important to try and open up those hip flexors. And like right here is your hip bone. And the most sensitive part, I think, that the buildup happens is like right underneath it because your body is trying to close inwards, and so it doesn't want something to happen here, and so your body is literally trying to like force yourself closed, and that's why a lot of tension builds up in the pelvic region, and there's a lot of other types of release that could help with that. But at this time, like just doing a lot of hip openers is really beneficial. And then I like to kind of arch my back to like push it forward so that like the hips like open up even more. Okay, I'm gonna go into a bridge pose, which is like very similar, but then we're just gonna support ourselves. And I put my hands and clasp it underneath here, and then you just keep pushing up. So then it decompresses because you're sitting all the time, so you're always like this, and so I think it's really nice to open this up also. Oh my god. Please don't hurt yourself. I'm just gonna do this for my own selfish benefit. I like to do the full wheel pose because it helps me stretch out because I'm there. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get myself ready. Hold up. I'm gonna mentally prepare. Ow! My hair. See, you know, sometimes sometimes you just can't do it. I don't know. Maybe I got stage fright. I'm gonna do it again. I think I was thinking too much. I was putting so much pressure on it. I just gotta do it. There we go. Okay, see, that's another lesson. Like, don't think about it too hard. Okay. Oh my god, I can't believe I caught that on camera. How embarrassing. But it's okay. Happens, you know? You gotta fall before you get up. I don't know what this is. I'm just balancing, and then I have a lot of tension in my lower back, so I'm just gonna roll back and forth. This is not a comprehensive like stretching guide. I don't know if these are, I don't know, American Medical Association approved. But this is helping me a lot, and this is also very therapeutic because I can sort of just talk out my thoughts as well. And so I didn't do like too much yoga today because there are a lot more yoga poses that are like warrior one, warrior two, or you're standing. But I really just wanted to lie down and use the floor as leverage and use the floor as pressure into the problem areas I have. So right now I have I can feel a knot like right here. And so I'm just gonna roll over and let it find that spot organically, and then use your body weight to push that into the floor. And now I'm in incredible pain, but I know that it'll be worth it. And it hurts so much. Hold on. And sometimes it moves because you're putting pressure on it, but now it starts to release. It feels like this, and you just breathe through it, and then eventually your body will find it. It's really nice. You get like basically this rush of adrenaline also. I don't know if it's adrenaline, dopamine, serotonin. Well, it sends something through your body because I know that I didn't feel like this earlier. What's the one that like releases when you are injured, or like I think it is adrenaline, but it's like something else. Because adrenaline, I also feel like works with cortisol to amp up your blood pressure, and that's not what you want to do here. So you want to relax. And you just feel yourself slowly releasing. You know, if you have to stay in one place for a while because it is a really tender area, just stay there. Mm. Like, this is really helping me out right now, so I'm gonna be doing this. You can do whatever. We're not really stretching together, I don't think. I think it's just like if you want to stretch with me and listen to me ramble, you can do so with this video. Okay, that's enough. I'm gonna do the other side for to balance it out as well. I don't think I have as many issues on this side, so I won't be here as long. But I do still feel it. Your body's always looking to figure out how to balance itself out. And likely if you have a problem on one side, it also builds up on the other side, even just a little. Okay, I think that's good. I am relaxed and now I don't feel like doing anything else. So this was my stretching therapy. If anybody is watching this, I really appreciate you. If not, then I'm really happy that I did this for myself because I my body really needed this. I needed this so much. And so now I'm able to go about my day a little bit more loose. Okay? All right. Let's go.